Hi, welcome to the Orchestral String Studio, and today we're going to be talking about hand shapes in first position using basic scales. So these are also called hand patterns. So the first one we're going to talk about is a 2-3 pattern. So what that means is if you hold your hand up like this and put your 2 and your 3 together, that's a 2-3 pattern on your instrument. So what this means is your 2 and your 3 are a half step apart. The fingers that are together are a half step, and when there's a gap, that's a whole step. So if you see it on the violin, you have first finger, second finger, and third finger. So you can see whole step, half step. So the scales that use this are your open string scales. So like G major, D major, and A major. So for example, we got G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and D major, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, and A major, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. The next pattern is the 1-2 pattern. So what this means is the first and second finger are together. So the scales that go along with this are C major and the second octave of G major. So C major starts third finger on your G string. So you got C, open D, E, there's F natural, G, A, B, and C natural. And the next pattern is our 3-4 pattern. So scales that use this are the lower octave of A, E major, and B. So this is scales starting off on first finger. So if we go over to G and place our first finger down, that's A. And then we have B, C sharp, and if we used fourth finger, there's our D. So that's why it's called a 3-4 pattern, because the 3 and the 4 are together. We have a high 3. So instead of the 3 being here, it is now out here next to where our 4 would go. So for A major, we have A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. So in that one, I use the open strings, but you can use a 4. I'll use 4 for this one. So E major, we have E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. And then B major, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. So there's a lot of sharps in there and you may not understand them right off, and that's okay. So we'll talk about that later in a theory video. Our next pattern is called an open pattern or an open 1 pattern. So what that means is the open string and our first finger are the half tone. So they're half step apart, because normally our 1 would be here and we'd have a whole step between, pretend this is the open marking. So between the nut and the first finger is a whole step. So when we have an open 1 pattern, our 1's gonna eke back here. So scales that use this are F major, B flat, and the second octave of C major. So that's kind of going a little bit past first position unless you're using an extended 4. So I'll show you that in just a second. So let's start with B flat, since it's the lowest out of these 3. So B flat starting off on a together 2 or a low 2. So we got 2, 3, so that's C, so B flat, C, D, E flat, F natural, G, A, B flat. And if we do this on the D string and start off on a low 2, a together 2, we can make another open 1 pattern on our A string. So we got F, G, open A, B flat, C natural, and D, E, and then F natural. Okay, next one is C major. This is the second octave of C major. So we're going to start together too on our A string, that's C natural. Then we have D, open E, F, G, A, B, and extend out that C. So you'll notice that my hand was basically spaced out for that. And that's because the open and the first finger are the half tone. So everything else has a whole step in between it. And that's our basic patterns. So you noticed also, backing up just a second, so when I was doing C major on that second octave, when I started on the low 2, 3, open E, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I extended out. So that extended 4 is one way to reach that C natural. There's a couple other ways to do it that involve shifting up, which means moving your hand down the fingerboard. So we'll talk about that in shifted scales later on. So concluding, we have 4 basic hand shapes. There's a couple extra ones, but these are the basic ones that you're going to have as a beginner violinist. So we have our 2-3 pattern, our 1-2 fingering, our 3-4 fingering, and then our open pattern. So if you get really good at those scales, the first position becomes a lot easier. So go practice and have fun. I'll see you next time. Bye.